It's going to be Smoker into Blue Purple. Hey, Wolf, how are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm really curious to see this matchup. It's one of the matchups that are most interesting usually because I mean, we know the blue purple skews the format a little bit. And then against Smoker is not free. So it's always a really interesting match to see.
Yeah, I feel like on paper, at least stat wise, Smoker was a bit favored into this. Early on, it was a lot more skewed, but I think people were like trying to figure out the matchup a bit more. But still, you got Holly Jones, you got a Banisher that piles up a lot of pressure on Blue Purple during the early turns, and in general, you do have a lot of 6K swingers like Sanji, so you get a lot of ways to overpressure and force Blue Purple to not play comfortably. So, it makes sense that it should be working. And speaking of which, we're seeing Moss start with a double searcher, go in second, and we find the namesake card of the deck, Smoker. It's kind of a bit tricky because he's not as good on 6 tone as he is on 5, but you still get to hit quite hard into leader if you play it on 6 tone or play a second card and still swing a 6. So we will see.
I still feel that the one of the most important plays in this matchup is setting up the Smoker with the Tashigi. Because otherwise, if you set up the Smoker and then immediately gets removed, it can be quite nasty for your game
Yeah.
plan.
Yeah, no, you definitely do not want to expose it to like a pretty much free God Thread on 6 tone from your opponent, or even like a Gravity Blade setup or anything like that, right? Because by the time you're on 5, chances are that Blue Purple is going to be at least on 7 on the way back. So you do need to see the combo.
Yeah.
Hmm. That is scary though, because we are seeing already triple ramp coming from Asmir, so we are effectively gaming now. He's gonna get the leader ability going from this point on, and he's still on 3 life.
That was a powerful
We
start.
Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to think whether we have any stronger plays, but that does seem like high rolling, pretty much. I
That's,
cannot think of another name for it.
I mean, the best it could be is if you get hit once and you trigger the ramp, but otherwise, this is perfect, right?
Yeah, it's pretty much ideal. Yeah,
And it's also,
triple ramp. No, like I guess you've used 3 cards, right? So you're a bit low on hand size, but it's such a safe scenario that I'm not too sure.
yeah, but you don't mind getting hit at life this turn, and at the same time, you have leader ability online from next turn, so you're actively drawing more cards. And you did set up the Mister 2, which is a scary body when you want to develop the smoker, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's it's really really nice. Like I feel like Moss has to be feeling the pressure right now because you've not managed to develop the game into where you want, and you're gonna start getting 9K bodies at you pretty much immediately. Ooh, ooh. And the Tashigi you mentioned before is completely missing in action, which means if we get to a Lilin play, it doesn't even need to be a Sanji Lilin play, we could be in big trouble for our green friend over here.
Yeah, I mean, it can be a gravity blade, it can be a Lilin, it can be a gut thread.
Yeah, I guess if it's Gravity or God Thread, you might not care as much because there's no board development, right? But Lilin means that Blue Purple carries on its plan, goes all the way to 4 life,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and yeah. Hmm.
And I feel
So
it's there.
yeah, yeah, there's no pieces missing for Asmir on this game. That has to be quite, I don't know, quite tilting if you are on Moses' place. But we know mental is his strong suit, so he's definitely not feeling any pressure here. He's just gonna play his game. Chat is right, at least no Sanji.
Fine. trying to see the silver lining, I guess. But
Mm-hmm. Okay.
but interesting.
Yeah.
Because Smoker also has a big board, but it's pretty much just utility at this point.
Yeah.
And
It's big, but not tall. It's a
yeah, exactly.
fairly wimpy board. And 5 cards in hand? Six, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think Hall is where we want to be right now, although at least we could wipe the Mr. Seconds and maybe get some of our life back to carry on with resources.
Yeah, but the play changes dramatically if you also had the smoker because the pressure is just somewhere else, right? We do see the Odi.
Yeah, there we go. And now we get to take some life. Or not take some life, Moss. There we go. All right.
I was checking the bot deck lists. Moss does run Dragon, which is a really good card in this matchup.
Yeah.
Of course, it's unsearchable, but
Like most good cards are, anyway. That's that would help in normal scenarios. I'm just not sure here would have had such high effect. I guess now at least we do have the. Ooh, we're seeing some gaming. So we got that Holy all the way up to an 11, and that Big Mom is all the way down to a 6.
yeah,
Or a 7. Is Monet minus 2000?
I think it's minus 2,000. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, then to a 7. Oh, yeah, that's probably dying. Just 1000? Why do you play bad cards in Smoker? Yeah.
12 into 8, yes.
Mm-hmm. And back to leader ability in. Yes, minus 1000 only. I don't know why I thought it was a lot more busted than it is. All right.
Probably the fact that Monet
That's
assigns
the
to
2.
on. Yeah,
Yeah. It's kind of a minus 3 for one swing, but it's not quite it. 12 into 8 still very responsible swing, and it kind of forces a giant if you want to defend it, and you really don't. A giant plus 1 card, and then you wouldn't get to do leader abilities, so gaming would be slightly different. Let's see what atrocities Asmir gets to do now.
well, it just got the red rock in hand because he shown it with the search. And yeah, of
Mm-hmm.
course, you don't want to giant there because pretty much all the advantage that you got from the triple ramp, you just pretty much skipping a bit. You're just missing a turn, which is not great. We do see the
Yeah.
Holy going.
And a Duffy. I guess the top 5 were not good enough, so we're gonna try and do some setup for later. And good news is at least we didn't on minus 1, so now we get to use a giant if we want to.
But I do feel that for Moss, it's a turn that you're willing to take from the blue purple player, just because it didn't set up 2 9K bodies, and yeah, you lost Hodi, but at the same time is you have more turn. Because usually when what happens when you play against blue purple is just like start snowballing with all these massive bodies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, definitely. Like the high roll kind of stopped this turn, and Asmir just got rid of the 8k body that could have been somewhat problematic. Although, if I'm telling the truth, I feel like if I have a decent body set up myself, I might have preferred developing a bit of board on this spot just because we are fairly safe on life, right? So if you have another Big Mom or even a Rush Luffy to swing into the 10k, into the 8k, I think I'm happy with that play instead. I guess it's more about the top 5 not having what he needed and needing to dig deeper to set up a more powerful play, hopefully with a Sanji next time. Okay, we
Just
got Smoker 2, Electric Boogaloo.
the question is, how do we follow up with this one?
Yeah. I guess you could use one of the Sanjis to swing if you really wanted to, pressure a bit more life, but it
It's a
is a little hard.
4K, yeah.
Yeah. Shoppers have, both of them have gotten like one block out of value, a 6k block, and that's it. I guess partially could have stopped more swings before, but I don't believe Asmir will have hit life anyways. So yeah, they've not been the best thing to have over here. Okay.
We do see a kid as well, which is nice. Because pretty much you force Asmir. I mean, if you, of course, he's gonna, if he can, he's gonna do Sanjin Lily because you also remove the smoker as we've seen it before. But if you do the red rock here to get rid of the kid, pretty much you don't establish anybody as well.
Yeah.
So you need to make a decision here. What is more problematic?
I mean, could also be like obviously the Lilian play would be great and it puts you back on 4, and we have the smoker out of the question again. But I wouldn't hate the. Let me just double check the list because I haven't checked this, but I'm just a bit too used to all of the lists running Mihawk. But I wouldn't hate a
There's
Mihawk
no
play.
Mihawk. No, there's no
Yeah.
Mihawk. I think the spot is taken by Rush Luffy, the 9 cost. We have in the
Mm.
list one Rush Luffy purple and one Rush Luffy blue from
Oh,
OP11.
I see. No, the purple one wouldn't have been terrible either, bouncing the other blocker and actually swinging into Monet to remove some freedom. But we had the Lilin anyways, so we're somewhat chilling. Okay. Trying to think what is it that we are looking for here. Like obviously another smoker wouldn't be terrible, and that a shaky would help keep our board afloat. But I'm not sure how it fits into the game plan right now.
Yeah, because pretty much right now we only have one spot where we want to develop character, which is the Virgos one. So we don't want to get rid of Monet and the Chopper for sure.
Yeah. I mean, on the bright side, we do have two blockers. So, like, the kid, if swings, is
Yeah,
relatively safe. But Monet and Berg are not doing an insane amount of work yet.
I mean, she did help out to get rid of the Lilin and also to get Aswing in before we lead her. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the cost paid for the monets done already was like a success, and you got the return from it.
Yeah, oh, that's true. Okay. What do we do with this 8 done now? Because we're kind of back to the same problem, right? We don't really want to swing with much more than leader.
Yeah, for sure, not this. Maybe the previous turn where there were no bodies established, you could have swung with one of the blockers because you always had the other one to protect the monet. But this turn, anything that rests most likely is gonna die next turn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's more than enough pressure. Like, even Kid is not really safe. We have 3 cards in hand. Yeah. So, like, 10 swings into it are fairly easy, and they're gonna eat away at the blockers really quickly. Okay, let's see. 10.
We passed with 2 downs up. That means we can protect the kid.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, at least it implies that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a one-off in the list, but
Yeah, we're starting to see less and less, and they start not even running the igloo at all, which is, yeah, kind of interesting.
you also need
But
to respect that
mhm,
when you attack into it.
yeah, pretty much. And yeah, Jake is right on chat. I guess you could have sung a bit harder due to Monet attaching to Don whatever you wanted, but I'm also not too sure you want to go any higher. Oh, that's where it is. We still go at 10. We save the first one with plus 3k, and now minus 2k. I guess one of those Sanji is gonna die. Yeah.
Yeah.
And probably the other one.
Yeah, we have 3 cards in hand, and I don't think we want to lose the kid. So either we give 2 cards, or we give the other blocker.
Yeah, pretty much. I guess we can give them. Bright side of the situation is that we actually got blue purple down to 2 life, even though they probably have around 7 cards in hand now. So
Yeah.
7 to 1 when you still only have a body and a half that are relevant on board. Ugh. Gonna be rough.
Especially because I think Asmir is gonna pass with 2 downs up and one and the blocker, so it can play around Hodi.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, we see double 2k given, which is why so much hesitation to save the kid. And now we still need to go, and we are very short on hand size.
I mean, look at Smoker's life. Usually, Smoker likes to take the first 2 lives, so at least unless you play against aggressive puddings, you want to pretty much build your hand size so you can establish the kill and protect it. But it's been starved the whole game.
Yeah, yeah, I feel like the inevitability of blue purple just makes the starving angle a bit more manageable, although you do still have some danger around killing your opponent. Um, because if you don't do it on a single turn, you could get hooded to death. So
Yeah.
you gotta be careful. Starting with a 10. I wonder if we're gonna make use of that blocker a bit preemptively from Hodi. And yeah, it's kind of wild that we're on this spot in spite of the triple ramp into Lin early on.
Baccarat.
More blockers. That means you have a 2k in hand, effectively.
Yeah,
Regardless.
but also we're also saying that pretty much the card that we have in hand is not something that we wish to use.
I guess. But a blocker is also nice, right? It's just adding up and forcing a similar turn to this time around. Oh, there we go. Now we get some free done. Just a single one, unfortunately, but you know, still does the trick.
Jack says, thought this will be over already after early triple ramp. The triple ramp
Hmm.
was nasty, but then the engine suddenly stopped, and Moss managed to climb back into the game quite nicely, with especially with the Audi play them and the Monet that managed to get rid of the Lilin.
Hmm. Yeah, Holy Money was definitely strong wonder. And I feel like right after, since we did go for the Red Rock on the Holy, we kind of fell a bit behind of tempo as well.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. Now we get to Giant. No, 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 10. And we might give the blocker now. Yeah.
I mean we know that Hodi is not a threat right now, so
Okay, what are we looking for here from the blue purple perspective? Okay. Kind of interesting, but Rush Luffy wouldn't be terrible right now. You get to go at the kid basically 999 if you want to.
the blue one, you
Although
mean
you're a bit
the
dead.
bounce in the bounce in the blocker?
Yeah, but this is also great. Just get rid of both blockers
This works.
immediately after get rid of the kid. Then another 2K. The
Yeah,
ball is going away. Hmm.
that was nasty with the one card in hand. It's pretty much it's really hard to fight for board now.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, that was a 2K. And we do have a lethal mapping here. Yeah. If there's another Hoddy Jones now,
But that's why
that's
Asmir kept three Dawn up.
mm, yeah. But we're talking about Moss as well. So like another Hoddy Jones is definitely not out of the equation, in spite of 100% being a top deck. Did he just split 7 done? Okay, no, no. He got me terrified there for a second.
I mean, it could also be like psychological warfare. You just like split 7 Dawns and you say, I have audio. What are you doing?
Yeah. Yes, pretty much. Mm, okay. Now it does seem like we do kind of need one more big mom. Yeah, we do know. We do know. We have seen a lot of quality Hody content on this league just by Moss being Moss. But it's what you get when you don't betray your deck. It's definitely where you want to be. Okay, and Asmir is going to be trying to map some lethal here. And hopefully play an Ami and leave Fordon up. Oh, okay.
Ellen,
Yeah.
we, yeah, but it kind of leaves us also exposed to Hodi, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It does. And the Holy Lethal could be very terrifying, specifically knowing that we just gave 3 mystery cards to Moss.
I feel
So
that you should be reading the Jake's message afterwards as well.
hmm, I don't know what my excuse is. I need to learn to shuffle better, according to Rene. So, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. It's to be honest, the universe has been treating me a lot worse than the Reyu deck. It's not been great with me on matchup spreads in general. But well, it is what it is. I need to get good. Okay, that is not a holy,
Hold
but I guess it's technically +1 Dawn, right? Because you get to buff holy and then attach the rested Dawn to leader, or like untap the rested Dawn. There's like a lot of ways to get free Dawn out of it. Find a blocker.
Yes, it's pretty much a don that you can give to a character, which is a really nice card, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely. Trying to think what would help in these spots. We don't really care for Borsalino. We don't. I guess you can always play another kid and delay things a bit. Mm-hmm. It could be the best searcher in the game.
And we have the Hodi.
Of course we do.
I like that we thought about it. I mean, it's like,
Yeah, I'm not too sure. Okay, so that's for Dawn. We basically currently have 2 9s on board if we use Peacock. So
yeah,
that's given the leader is the 6k. We probably want to go 10 twice rather than going 9 and 11.
what do you mean with leader 6k? Oh, the opponent, yes, not small. Yeah,
Yeah.
we
Yeah. Now we get
yeah.
to add those 2 extra Dawn.
Kami does search Mr. Jones, that's true.
Yeah. And that's another 10. 8,
8, 10.
10, 11. Yeah. And we carry on carrying on.
I feel that was the right play here because you need to keep applying pressure because there is no way otherwise to get out of
Mm-hmm.
the inevitability of blue purple.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like you had to game for it and
Mm.
just hope that you didn't get the 2Ks, but the chances were very, very low. Okay, that's a 7. And now we know. Ah, are we going for board?
Yeah,
Ah, okay. I feel like that's unnecessarily safe knowing that they had a smoker brick in hand, but I guess you can play around the 0 cost event if you really want it. Are we going to see holy number 2? 3?
that would be number 3. Yes.
Are we going to see that? Is this the game where we see 3 holies? We do have 2 done up though, so maybe even that is going to be not quite enough to do the trick. But yeah, I feel like we had math the previous turn, right? Because we didn't know 2 of the cards. We know one was a brick, one was a 1k, and we did know that there's a 1k on the last life and another brick. So even with the 0 cost event, you don't get to survive the 9 swings. But oh well.
Giant in hand blocker. So it still worked. And probably it's also easier for us to remember the cards that they are in hand. Just
Yeah.
especially with blue
We're
purple, you do see so many cards.
Mhm. Yeah, no, it's easy to like make a minor mistake there. 2K, 2K, 1K, and 1K. And that's that.
Yeah, I mean, how the game started, I was feeling that it could have been also way quicker. Instead, it was more balanced than the start was pretty much promising.
Mhm. If only we had another Holly Jones. But yeah, no, it did basically become a death by 1,000 cuts. It's just that the value engine started so early. We kind of have to remember, right, that the second leader ability happens there. Blue purple is drawing two curated cuts per turn, right?
While filtering.
Yeah, that's what I mean by curated. You're just taking a look at the top five and taking either the best two or the best one, and then a new surprise card that's better than the other four, right? So you get two draw pluses per turn, so more quantity of cards. You're still a 6K leader, right? So when we got to that point on 4 life, which means that we didn't lose much advantage or anything. And yeah, it's just slowly chipping away. Like you can feel the game running away from you. So yeah, we'll see. Ooh, 8
So,
holding next set, and 1 is searchable, I guess.
how many Hodis do you think Moss is gonna see this game?
I've been spoiled about this, so I'm
Okay.
not gonna tell. I'm not gonna tell. I know the number.
Should we
I
create
know the
a
number.
prediction? So
Yeah, that
chat.
that actually would be a first shout. We can ask chat how many holders are gonna be seeing this game. Um, and we can also ask how many lives those holders are gonna take without needing to remind us.
I did take the life the previous turn, so
Yeah. I feel like it's just once per game. It's fine. 12, 6.5. Yep. That's right. Those are all good predictions. Okay.
six and 6.5 probably is the average during a best of three.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much. Okay. Snap keep from Asmir. Seems like we might be ramping again.
Triple
And
ramp
also
again.
more snap sets. Is that triple holy? And yeah, Moss is playing first. Nicely on curve. And we start with the best searcher in game. That doesn't find holy, unfortunately. We will
Get the
see
smoker.
where this evolves. Yeah.
The game changes quite a lot if you do manage to protect the smoker as well. So let's see if Moss manages to see also Tashigi. Because I feel that not seeing Tashigi the game before really was detrimental for the game plan.
Hmm. Yeah, definitely. The fact that those smokers were very easily lifeable, is that the term we should be going for here? Lifeable? Uh, with Linin made things a lot easier for
Yeah.
Asmir.
Yeah, I don't think
Okay.
any smoker managed to do a single swing.
No, not quite.
Because as soon as the first smoker dropped, Asmir was already online with Lin Lin.
Yeah. Yeah, they never. They didn't get to swing all game. Okay, we're seeing ramp number 1 now.
Mm-hmm.
We only need to see 2. We don't need to see the third one.
Probably three is a bit on an overkill, but
Yeah, no, but we can see the power of Smoker now, right? Because we got to swing 8 on your second turn, then you get to play Smoker into Smoker, activate both of them, meaning that you have exactly 3 done back again, so you can swing 8 once more if you want to pile up pressure or play Tashigi.
which in this case, way more important.
Mhm. I mean, I think Blue Purple still somewhat happy of now just playing the God thread on the Tashigi and moving on with life. But it's obviously nowhere near as powerful. Okay, we're not seeing that. That's gonna be a bit more scary. 4 cards in hand, so now is the question to starve or not to starve. Oh, 5. That looked like 4 before. Was just doing some interesting showing of hands. But yeah, stay there. I wouldn't hate a Thunder Bagua in Asmir's hand right now. Like, it could somewhat protect from anything all the way up to a 10 swing, right? Which is going to be valuable into the Banishy swings from Smoker. Or we do that.
Yep.
Okay, what's the holy count so far, chat? And we did take the life. That's good. Good moss.
So this is 1 for this game, right? And were 2 the game before, right?
Yeah. Ooh, we're making use of Peacock. Holy number 1. And now we get to buff Smoker, and we're gonna go an 8. Probably gear 2. Okay. Not mad at that either. And a 2k for the 7. And another 8 that we take.
That's pressure.
Yeah, that is definitely pressure. Smoker's also an 8k on defense, so it's gonna be fairly difficult to defend. Sorry, to actually push over the defenses. Okay, what do we want to see here? Gravity Blade doesn't really do the trick, neither does Red Rock, because we weren't able to clean that Tashigi before. I suppose Lin to get rid of Tashigi and go back to 2 life is not horrible, but you're still in certain danger. Okay, Luffy.
Yeah, that was interesting.
I guess you get to go replace himself or not. Okay. Well, Sanji.
Oh no, it was the pitch.
Ooh, oh my god. Welcome everyone to Sabaody Showdown. Tinoy just did an amazing raid on us, which is super, super incredible. And thank you. And as well, welcome Skepas. Always happy to have you around. Okay, you're ready to see some really amazing Smoker, Holy Jones gameplay from us here. Yeah, hope you all enjoy the webcam gaming. Okay. So, yeah, as predicted before, right? Lin, Datashigi get back into some semblance of safety on life. And now it's going to come down to the aggression from Smoker.
Yeah. Back to back Hody will be insane here.
Yeah. But still kind of terrifying, right? Because we don't get that much defense from it. Asmir has a lot of cards in hand, I believe. Over 7. So, yeah, you probably still do the Holy, but it's not going to be pretty. Ooh. That giant means no leader ability, so it does have a cost. Not extremely steep, but it does have one, so that's good.
And it also means that maybe we just want to filter through the cards. Maybe our hand is not what we want right now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely helpful to just kind of carry on going. And now 2k, 1k for the Hody. And even if we see another Hody now, I feel like defending one of those swings is going to be manageable. So Moss is probably going to do a bit more setup instead. Ooh, Yamato Wonchi Noise Cup. That's definitely some fun stuff. Um,
That's spicy.
yeah.
Ooh,
What if it was Rui? That is somewhat terrifying as well.
dragon is really good in this spot.
Yeah. Get 3 more done back, right? So we can go 9, 10, or even 8, 10. I leave one up, or 8, 11. Ooh, that seems like it was almost planted there, which might be why we were using that giant so carelessly. And that 9 we take. Ooh. Okay, that defender is gonna do some work as well. We do know. Huh. We still have a Rush Luffy in hand as well, right? Because we
I
didn't
feel
get
is the
rid of
one we
category.
pitched.
No, we pitched a category, didn't we, for the
No,
giant?
we pitched before when we did Linlin, we pitched the Rush Luffy
Okay,
for Linlin ability.
that makes some sense. Yeah. Okay, then no information whatsoever. But taking a bit of a look at the deck list again, even though I feel like I know it by heart by now. Defense might not do quite the trick, so we do need to get rid of that smoker. And ideally also that Howdy.
Or Dragon, but
Dragon, yeah, but Dragon's not easy to kill on defense, right? So that's gonna make things a bit more awkward. Maybe. Okay, we do have the counter now.
that's a rough spot for Asmir now.
Yep. Red rock that dragon away.
Yep. Trying to survive somehow.
We've 3 done up. And praise to the giants. Let's see. I'm kind of on edge about just seeing the next Hody Jones. I feel like I'm just gonna jump scared out of my seat. Because now on Zero Life it's genuinely terrifying.
Three cards in hand for Moss. Still, have you noticed how many cards does Hasmir have in hand?
I haven't counted them, but I don't think we lost that many last turn. So it does look 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think either 7 or 8. Sorry about the counting out loud. It's a lot easier that way. But yeah. Yeah, do we have any other big body to be playing next? Or are we going to just try and pressure hand size? Okay, that's going to be giant number 1. Mm-hmm. Getting rid of Lilin. So no free healing. I guess we're on a spot where we cannot even afford to unless we wipe board anyway, so it makes sense to get rid of her for now. And we
We,
deal 1k.
yeah,
That's my assumption is we are down to 7 in hand instead of 8 this time. And another 10. That I would say this time it has banished, but it's not like it's gonna get rid of any lives. So
so with Bagua and Doffe.
mm-hmm. We're down on hand size. It might be 4, so maybe we started with 6. We're down to 4. Ooh. Yeah, and that's it. We
Yep.
got it. We're down to three. So yeah, that was six in the beginning. Well
So
done, Moss.
what?
Although the number of holidays was a bit lower than I expected.
It was only one. I was surprised.
Yeah, Dragon is not holy. I actually maybe then I know the number in game three. Uh, we will see. You can definitely tell that the amount of pressure is a lot bigger when Smoker gets to go first. Just
It was a completely different game as well.
mhm. Yeah, we did have enough protection for that Tashigi. It's kind of a bit sad that we didn't see a God Thread on that turn because I feel like that could have turned things around a bit rather than having that Bone Clay that got rested and killed very in a very humiliating way with a Peacock. Um, if instead we just got thread, we don't have a body to be rested, so that Peacock doesn't get value. We're still going to be kind of smashed to one life, right? But then when we do get to play the Lin Lin, it's a different story because we can get rid of the smoker unless there was a second copy of Tashigi play down. But you know, those chances are a lot nicer. So, oh well, that was it for our lovely Asmir, and we'll see how he fares now. I'm assuming that he's gonna take first away from Moss.
Yeah, I feel this game and also, for example, the buggy game for blue purple are quite dependent of the die roll
Yeah,
because you can
yeah,
offset pressure quite a lot.
yeah. I don't remember the data on Sim because it's not been updated in a tiny minute for Smoker, but definitely there is a lot of impact of who goes first and second, and even for blue purple, right? Like you do have two very working curves, but they give you very different advantages, and depending on the matchup, you really need one or the other. In this case, yeah, I feel like you're happier banking on three ramps or just one and control
Yeah.
over the alternative.
We do see Moss Mulligan. It was showing his hand. There was like two Tashigis and three blockers.
Yeah, that's not the hand you want to be seeing. I love that Moss is still rocking those Sabaody sleeves, even though they're not the real ones quite yet. Uh, we're fortunately going to be getting them, I'm hoping, next week. They have gone through UK customs, so they are in the country, and I'm hoping to be able to distribute them to our players fairly soon. I'm quite hyped about the Dragon Shield sleeves with the logo and everything. That should be super fun.
Can't
And
wait.
yeah, some clout on tournament is always nice. All right, so we go for it. Okay, I like your mulligan decisions, Moss. It's definitely uh, one of the easier parts if that's your rule. I kind of have the same with Reiju and Stage, but now we have Sanji, so it's a bit more complicated. But yeah, yeah, no, it's always nice to know. Do I have this? Yes, no. Try again.
No searchers for Moss.
No, I mean, I
That's
guess you're exposed to your chances with mulligan sometimes, right? You do have
yeah.
eight searchers, but Sorojuro is here, however, doing his best impression of a ramper path block, most likely. Or not. Actually, we're explaining a card, so it seems like Sorojuro might require a 2K and a 1K to get out of this bind.
Uh, it's a card that is getting more popular into Smoker build, and I feel it's mostly for the Bello Betty matchup.
Yeah, it helps a lot, but it's also nice into these Sorojuro spots, right? From both blue purple and some list of green purple, you just cleanly get rid of that, force them to go into kind of a not that great blocker, right? And yeah, you do
Yeah,
get some value.
it was a solid turn because then also you pretty much create is a blocker, but when he stresses, it's also a pseudo blocker. Just because
Mm.
they need to get rid of it, otherwise they just can keep getting value out of it.
Yeah. I guess it might be a bit debatable on this specific matchup just because you don't get like more 3 cost bodies, right?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, still, like it's always nice to get it off the table.
But we didn't see any ramp from Asmir.
Oh, sorry, that's not what it does. It's not resting specifically. It allows you to attack actives. So yeah, I
Yeah.
guess it still gets you some value, and you have some big navy. So
Yeah, and
it's
pretty much in this spot you completely negated Asmir ramp in this game for now.
yeah. Okay, there we go. There's Pascal. Are we gonna see the God Thread now?
It will be kind of crucial to regain a bit of the tempo. Yeah.
There we go. That puts us on 8, right? Gets rid of Tashigi, and we do have a nice blocker if we really want to stop that smoker from taking a life straight to the trash. So, you know, we we could be in a worse spot from the UP player's perspective. But now we're on 8 on, which could mean some fishy scenarios. Did we succeed in mulliganing into Holy this time, Moss? Hmm. Of course we did.
And it's the
And it's a
fancy one.
shiny one. It's a shiny one. Yep. 97. We get back 3. And
We
now
didn't
we
take
get.
the life this time.
Mm, ooh. Oh no. Not again, Moss. Ooh. Goodbye, pudding.
Huh.
Yeah. And now maybe another Toshiki if we have her. Oh no, Asanji. Just some more pressure. Okay, so now the ball starts rolling for the leader ability, but we are not in a healthy spot at all. So we need to navigate lethal from this point on, which is going to be hard.
So we are on the 4th Hodi in 3 games. So let's see if we hit the 6.5 average that Jake was saying.
Either 6 or 7. Um, let's see. Okay, we take the Sanji, the 2K1, and we're up to 10. There is no Tashigi, so Lin Lin will have some impact. So yeah, strongest play in the deck. Doing the trick. We're back to 2 life, and that smoker is gone. I guess the question mark is what now?
And we follow up with the pressure.
Blue purple has about 7 cards in hand again, so we are not really that scared of follow-ups. But holy is still holy. You still get to not use that giant that you're very eager for.
And we do run 4 mold pistol in the smoker build and no honesty impact. So Sanji and Lilin are not easily achievable without Amone.
If they're not rested, there's not much you can do about them.
Yeah.
You would need double money then.
And the mold pistol then?
Yeah, nah, I think even
Uh,
with
yeah,
some
not the
money
greatest turn.
Well, there's a Tama.
Yeah.
There's a Tama. And the Cody count is on 2.
And 5 overall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we get back to dawn, so we have 5 to distribute accordingly.
We took the life this time. I feel Moss should get Hody's leaves.
Yeah, I feel maybe we can crowdsource them. Do we want to start a PayPal pool just to get him hold his leaves? Or custom make them if possible, I suppose? Yeah,
We
I was
see.
just gonna say that that was a setup live.
Yeah.
So we can see it in proper action, negating Sanji without giving an extra card as well. Okay. 2K, 1K.
It's 2K, 2K, right? Two
Ooh,
Sanjis.
true. Double Sanji. And now what? 8 plus a blocker again, maybe.
We do have 5 open, yeah.
We could just go at 10 and try to get them down to 0.
It also does depend if we have the event in hand and we want to keep these two dons up. Nope, it's straight 10.
Yeah. I mean, we mentioned this before, right? Like, the deck list only has one of the events, so it's not very likely that we get to see it again after seeing it game 1. Um, I assume he was probably accounting for maybe playing a blocker. One Rocinante instead, but we'll see.
We know that now then one Hody is going to go with Dreadrock.
Hmm. And we'll see how the other one survives. We're still on 0 life, right? So we might need a way to get out of a 15k swing. And at Holly number 1. We should have enough resources to counter here.
These are two decks that are break quite. They manage to break quite easily,
Mm.
and we lose the Hody.
That is an interesting pivot.
Oh boy, we are
Okay.
properly bricked.
I don't know. Those 9s might have been a bit more difficult to take than the Holy. Um, 3 on up. So I suppose now comes down to what do we do? Holding number 3 would effectively mean we get to go 8, 9. This is not insane. Or we could go 6, 11, or even 7, 10 if we wanted to. That's it.
It's tricky though, because Asmir has pretty much a book in hand.
Yeah. I mean, we did take away some cards from him last turn. So there is that, but we did also give him a couple life and the 2 for the turn. So yeah, I don't love that. And 15 is also a scary prospect. If there's giants available, which probably will be the case, right? Okay. I don't hate that. It is a super blocker. It may let us play another blocker. We just chip one from hand.
We giant it out.
Yep, just because we can. We are gonna be getting rid of some bricks, I'm assuming, on this spot. Yeah. Yeah, there's no need for another Sanji given that we're on one life. For the opponent, do we have a blocker? We do. And that's where the fun actually starts. We are kind of low on removal, pure removal beyond Gothred, which wouldn't be that terrible either, I suppose. But Moss does have about 7 or 8 cards in hand still as well, so that kid is gonna be maybe not easily, but gonna be somewhat reasonably protected.
We did see Asmir getting Usohachi.
Mhm. We do know that putting us is on trash, so putting in that pile of cards in hand is probably not in the books. 8, 8 in
I
hand,
mean,
it seems. Mm.
yeah, but considering how Moss countered before, I don't think that most of them are
To keep.
counters. That yeah, that's
Mhm.
why Asmir probably it decided to just go through combat without using the pudding or just like without reducing the insides beforehand.
Mhm. Okay, Duffy blocker. It's an interesting question though, because we do want to get rid of that kid, but we also want to leave, yeah, at the very least 3 don't open.
Mm.
And away goes the igloo.
So we
Basically save it.
yeah we guarantee the survival ability of the of the character.
Yeah. There's not enough Dawn to really get rid of him with leader, so okay. Is it gonna be Merfolk number 3, or are we gonna see some different approach here? Hmm. The OP12 smoker is gonna be very annoying to defend against. A new holy event and holy, and it doesn't even limit that much. There we go.
That's the third one for this
And
game.
we did take the life this time. Is that gonna be enough to take the game as well? Have 5 down to split. We get to rest the blocker and add on.
So that's 6 Hodis in 3 games.
Okay, so how do we go about the math here? Right? You do want 1 down on Kid at least, so it makes sense for Kid to be swinging 10.
Yeah.
I guess the question mark is, do we want to go 8 with Holly, 12 with Kid, and maybe 6 with Leader? Something along those lines? Or do we want to do a 10-10-6 split? Basically forcing each one of the big parties to eat a giant plus 1 more card.
Uh, I will personally go for the second route, but Asmir has so many cards in hand, so and he has the Dawn up, so pretty much we're kind of forced to trying to go for lethal.
Yeah,
With
no, that does make sense. I guess what I don't dislike about this is if we now eat one giant for that, we get to like restand to Dawn and then go 12 with Kid, which means giant plus 2k, 2k, 1k. It is a lot. So it's not a bad plan.
No, no, absolutely.
But
And we do know Asmir as a 2K in hand for sure, because there's also Hachi that he got before.
it's maybe okay. We're going at the blocker.
That is interesting.
Restand. Um,
Can we survive on the clapback? That's the question.
I mean, we do have the kid, right? So if we're able to
Mhm.
protect the kid somewhat, possibly, maybe if we set up a 2 blocker wall over there, maybe, yeah, now play Rocinante and follow up with like a Borsellino or a Chopper. Yeah,
Yeah. So proper wall.
yeah, I've got in hand, proper wall. Already used the gravity blade, so that's not gonna do the trick. Additionally, the Usohachi doesn't really rest the Rocinante, but so like double wouldn't really work out. Rush Luffy could be good though on these spots.
Blue one.
Yeah, not ideal either, but bouncing the Rocinante and then swinging 10, 10, 8 into the kid might do it.
Yeah.
It's not super likely either, so we might need something a bit more creative. Just to Sohachi and split to maybe go 11 twice for some 2Ks out,
Yeah,
or
because it's
12
also
twice. Go on,
because
sorry.
also yeah, you also need to guarantee that you survive in case you don't manage to close it here. I mean, we did see 3 Hodis. Might be the fourth.
That is scarily possible. I feel like most might be holding a world record on amount of total Hodis played in the last 6 months.
And
And
the
we'll
deck
see.
loves him.
Okay, so we're counting. How can we get out of this one? We can use one Usohachi. We can't really clear with anything anymore. At least nothing really relevant. Okay, that was 2K on 3 1Ks. Usohachi the blocker. Oh no, Luffy. Fair enough.
But that means that we're not gonna get rid of the kid this turn.
Very likely not. I guess we could bank on not seeing one more. Holy Right just leave 2 done up and then go 9 at the kid twice, given that we haven't. We've seen that there's no more 2Ks, either there's 2 1Ks in hand, or one of them could be. Well, we do know that one of them is the smoker break, right? So we're all but guaranteed with a 9 swing that we take a blocker.
I mean, if I were to get hit by 4 Hodis, I would be fuming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
So this swing hate the chopper.
And we pass with 4 done up and a blocker. I think 9 in hand. If I counted the flickering correctly. This is some intense smoker gameplay as well. It feels like it's been going on for a while. We might be like maybe not close to overtime, but it could have been quite a minute. Okay, we're standing strong with 50. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Uh, I know a bunch of you just stayed from the Chinois Cup, and this is a very different format. So let us know in chat if you want us to accommodate anything. We hope you're enjoying the commentary as well, even though we are not as experienced as our friend. Let's see. I guess since we do have the blocker there, what makes more sense combat-wise is probably to split it 3 ways if we can, right?
Yeah.
So we attach 3 don to smoker. We have 8 bodies and 7 don remaining. So we get 2 more on each. So we basically get to go 10 twice and then 11 if we want to. I'm just not sure that's gonna be quite doing the trick.
How many giant have we used already? 2, right?
I think 2, yeah. But
Okay.
we might have gone through the deck by this point with
No, I
leader
mean,
abilities.
yeah, I mean, just like how many events can we? Because
Mhm.
maybe checking the trash, we can technically understand how many events and what most likely could they be.
Yeah. We've also seen a bunch of 2Ks being
Yeah.
played and searched.
Yeah,
So yeah,
then we're
there's
checking the trash.
2 ends. Yeah. I think there's not many 2Ks actually. Maybe just those 2 Sanjis and 1 more from before.
Yeah, we still have the Huzuhachi in hand.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That's
9.
9 is interesting.
Because you can, yeah, you can just,
Get giant value. Yeah. And there goes the Luffy.
you would have one with more with a 10, right?
Yeah, I think so. Just force 1 more card out of hand, but I guess we could still. We could be playing the 4th Holy over here at a Dragon. We have exactly 9, so maybe we can do this other 9. Maybe force a Bagua. And then Holy gets rid of. Gets that other swing rested and gets to swing for 10 uncontested. Maybe. And a 6K with leader. Okay. That's gonna be gear 2 and 1K.
Yeah. Next game's gonna be Marco versus Blue Purple.
We cannot run away from the menace of the
Yeah.
format. Blue Purple Luffy is just gonna be all over the place. But next game's gonna be live as well. So we're gonna have no hints or spoilers. Here's the dragon. Huh. 1 more 9. Do we have a Vagua for this one? Fair enough. And then 10. Sorry, another 9.
2,
And
8,
another 2.
10.
2 guys in hand. I mean, those Uzohachis were pretty much useless, right? Because unfortunately, we do get to save a rested kid, even if our blocker is rested. So that's not going to make a huge difference. We have max 1 2K. So I think 11Ks will definitely do the trick here. Yeah, there we go. That's some good math by Asmir. Uh, we'll eat the blocker.
Yeah.
We have 2Ks and we just gave a bunch of 1Ks before for fun. Why is more complaining about what he's seen? We've seen maybe 3 Hodies and the dragon.
But we know one of the, as Jack saying, one of the cards in hand is Smoker. So
Yeah.
10 is enough.
Yeah, from the life.
Yeah, and that is game.
Yeah. I guess you can play the math from this point, right?
Yeah.
Like you do know that 12 is guaranteed and then your swing is gone. And the boogeyman takes it. Blue Purple Luffy keeps winning and people keep playing it.